Yeah, we can roll. Yo, guys, welcome back to another episode of Black Swan System. In this episode, we're going to talk about for the men who are in their 30s or in their 40s, or who just got out of relationship or got divorced, and they have no fucking clue. Hey, man, how do I navigate this current dating market? I was not using dating apps were working in 2017, 2018, but now they don't work anymore. It has become pay to play. They were not using social media before, Instagram before, or they have no fucking clue how to navigate that. So, in this video, we're going to discuss what has changed in the society 2025 and beyond in the current dating market. What can you do as an older guy to compete with the younger guys? What advantages you have, or what you need to work on? We'll discuss everything from what to do, how to improve your fashion, how to navigate social media, what is required, and then point you in the right direction. So, I'm here with my co host Max. We're going to discuss, dive deeper into how to fix that. Max, why should everyone listen to us?
Yeah, why the fuck should everyone listen to us? I mean, if you look at our social media, especially our Instagrams, your Instagram, my Instagram, I mean, that answers all the questions, right? If you look through our highlights on Instagram, you will see us hanging out in the clubs, at restaurants. We are hanging around constantly with beautiful girls. So this is not a coincidence. There's a system behind that, and we built that slowly over time. And we are showing exactly how you can do that too without having to rely on either a cold approach or dating apps.
Absolutely. So, if you're new to the channel, and on this channel, we discuss how to increase your chances to attract the highest quality women. If you want casual, like what are the ways to get the most amount of lace, or if you want to find something serious, how to do that, the possible channels. So, everything from attraction to build social circles to networking, very high value men. Awesome. Roll the trailer. Imagine you were married for 10 years. At 23,
Yeah.
somehow you go lucky,
Yeah.
and then, or maybe you were in a relationship for 10 years, right? Back then in 2015, I think dating apps were like still new thing. I remember it was even a taboo. Oh, that's crazy. You met someone from dating app. How crazy. You are a wild one, like, right? So now everyone is on dating apps. More and more people suggest, trend seems to be online. So now you are here in this world. Imagine you are a character, right? You have no fucking idea. So, and now like you've solved it. Like, how would you navigate this current world if you
Yeah.
got out of a relationship? Maybe you got divorced.
Yeah.
Maybe you just broke up with your current partner.
Yeah, given the situation that I was, like you said, married for 10 years and I'm divorced now, and I have all the knowledge about social game and how to build a social circle that I have right now, what I would do from that standpoint, right? But before I go into that, it's a funny thing that you mentioned that. So 10 years ago, dating apps were actually this kind of taboo which everyone used anyways. It was kind of like porn. Everyone was kind of watching it, but nobody wanted to talk about it. And with dating apps, it was the same. So everyone wanted to use this new thing called Tinder. Then there was Lavu, very famous in Germany as well. And people were starting to meet up through those apps, but there were still a lot of other occasions where people met either through social circles or they started approaching people on the street. So this cold approaching thing, day game, night game, this was this new thing back in those days, which started to come up. Of course, you can download Tinder, you can download Hinge, and use those dating apps on the side while you're in the bus or taking a shit, and you want to do something besides the main important things that we're going to teach you. But you should never rely on them. Never rely on them too heavily. And what I would first do is, if you haven't, get Instagram. So let's say I was married, no need to have Instagram, no need to show off my life on that app. The first thing you need to do is grab Instagram. So you might ask yourself right now, okay, why Instagram? How the fuck is that going to help me with dating?
Man, Max, I'm like father of two, right?
Yeah.
I fucking hate social media. I hate
Yeah.
people for social media. Like, why the fuck do I need Instagram? I like to stay private.
Yeah, I hear really a lot. So that people say, "Hey, why should I use Instagram? Because I'm this, I'm that." There's nothing to show off on Instagram. But you have to keep in mind, Instagram is not just this tool to get some glimpse into other people's lives. It's the number one networking tool, even higher than LinkedIn, I would say. So, and this is very important that you show the best snippets of your life on Instagram for you to have that leverage and have the ability to connect with other people.
And one thing I've found, which is like an advantage compared to like men who are in their 20s or like younger, is that a lot of women say, I like men who are mature. I like the men who have experience, right? I was on a date just yesterday, and then she mentioned this exact thing. To like, I'm tired of guys who are in their early 20s. They have no fucking clue. They have no ambitions. I
Mhm.
want guys like I deserve better, which is true, right? So
Mhm.
if you're in your 30s, right? So if you did the things right, right? So you are in your prime, right? So in terms of finances, so you can afford a better lifestyle than the guys in their 20s. So you're more mature, you have more experiences, you can say a lot. I guess also women who are in their mid 20s or early 20s, they like that more. So maybe for not like if you are in your 40s, that might not be for most women like they want to date, but especially women who are intelligent, who are more mature, they prefer also men who are established. So that's an advantage which comes from being a bit on the older side. You can still date women who are younger. You just have to market yourself properly, right? This is the mindset. It's possible, but if you are 40 and you look like 40, that's a problem, right? So people should not be able to tell. Like you should be dressing the age that you want like a female to attract. I know guys who are in their 40s, but they look like that they are much younger. I know one guy, he looks like 27 and then he's like 41. So he takes good care of himself.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about how old you are. It's really how you said it, how you take care of yourself. So I know other guys who are in their early 40s, maybe 45, and they do look like they're just 28, 29 because they are going to the gym, they're working out, they're paying attention to what they put into their body. And this is very, very important. Talking about your appearance, this is the one thing that you should do then on Instagram to show off. And I mean this not like in a very superficial way or to brag, because when you get your Instagram, you do the account, you set everything up, then the very first important step is to just get high quality pictures of yourself, just to show that you have access, for example, to scarce resources, that you are of high status, and that people, when they come to your profile, they think, this guy has something into it. So it's not just some gym selfies or bathroom selfies, which everyone can do.
I know the problem where guys have like, okay, this is superficial, right? I don't want to
Yeah.
post like a cool lifestyle on Instagram that's so shallow. So see guys, like we don't make the rules, right? But we have to play the game. So I can sit here and complain. The world is fucking shallow. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. It's easier to complain,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or you can be like, okay, well, people are playing to win, right?
Yeah.
And either I can join them or I can complain and suck. Because it's true. Like for example, these days I am officially banned on Hinge as well for second
Mm.
time. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna use Instagram to
Mm.
meet women. Yesterday, so it's like Tuesday now. On Sunday, I was like, I secured like 5 dates. Yesterday, I went on 2 dates, and on Sunday as well, right? So the good things happen after that. It works. Standalone Instagram itself can work as a dating app essentially. So I would say it's uncomfortable, but it's the reality. Like you would have to play the game.
Yeah, you have to play by the rules, and it's always been that way that people want to show off their life in a good way for other people to get noticed and then make connections through that. So last year in October and November, I met a guy which and his father is a mechanic. Just to give another perspective on those things. And especially in Germany and in other countries here in Europe, it's a bad thing to show off, to show that you have money. So compared to the United States, where it's completely different, where people love to show off and where they're admired for their wealth. In Germany, it's completely different. If you just show that you have too much money, if you show that you have a Rolex or a Porsche, in a lot of social communities, people will be very critical of you. So this mechanic father that I'm talking about, so being a mechanic in Germany is known to be not very profitable. But his dad is driving a Porsche Panamera. Nothing special, but it's a Porsche. He has to put in some money in. And she told him that because he has a Porsche, people will, one, criticize him a bit more, but he made more money through that just because he drives to his clients with a Porsche, where he has all the tools in it and blah blah blah. He doesn't need so much, and he makes more clients with that because people recommend him to other people. Hey, there's this mechanic, but he has a Porsche. And now people want to give you more money just because you already have money. If you look at other situations and other well-known people, for example, Kanye West, when he was like flat broke, nobody wanted to give him money. But as soon as he got money, everyone wanted to give him even more money.
That's so fucking true.
And that's the same thing with Instagram. If you show that you're like a broke loser and you have those very average pictures on Instagram, nobody wants to talk to you. But as soon as you have your Instagram fixed, as soon as you have good content in there, and it's not really hard to fix it if you do it properly, you can really fathom how much easier it will be to get in contact with other people, communities, or even date girls with Instagram because you see you already have access to some shit. That's why I want to get more access to this guy.
One thing that I find really funny is like I used to think, right? So posting pre-selection stories might repel women, right? They're like, okay, this guy's a player, this and that, blah blah blah. But it's crazy. Like the more stories I post, the more they want to meet you. Like they okay, so many girls trust this guy.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
has this guy? So they become curious, right? And then they want to be part of you. Okay, so that thing aside, right? Getting a lot of dates, right? So let's say the fastest way to go on dates is by using Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, or another dating app which you currently have, right? So with that, you can essentially find a girlfriend or a girl you can date in like a matter of weeks. So let's talk about what kind of pictures should one post on their dating apps profiles.
You can't do anything wrong with just simple portrait pictures. You have good lighting on your face, you are good dressed, you have some good environment. And your profile, in my opinion, should consist at least of like maybe 2 or 3 of them so that people get different impressions of you, maybe in different outfits. Maybe you can show off your physique. And the other pictures should be more on the social side. So maybe you in settings where you're out with friends, maybe you're in some high social environments, you being well dressed, maybe in front of a photo wall, maybe you being out on a party where you're surrounded by friends. It's about giving the girl a glimpse into what it could be to date you. The beautiful thing about that, you can't fake those pictures because there are a lot of AI tools currently out there where you can fake some nice portrait pictures, where you can manipulate your physique, your face, but with no AI tool, so currently you can't fake any social settings, people showing compliance to you.
So I was part of a forum. Like there's this guy who was posting AI pictures, right? And then he was posting pictures of him like in playing tennis, this and that. And they clearly look AI generated. So still like in 2025, there might be some tools who make it look real, but still like you can clearly say, okay, this is AI generated.
Yeah.
It's like very smooth, there's no texture. But with that aside, right? So if I'm a guy who has like, oh, this did not have any pictures taken, so this is how I would do it, right? So I would post 5 to 6 pictures. The first picture would be where I am like clearly visible, looking in the camera, smiling a bit, right? So people can see how my face looks like. You can use some bit of face app, but not too over the top that it looks air generated, right? So clean face, looking eyes to the camera, smiling a bit and looking well dressed. That's the first picture. Second picture, I would do something with pets. 95% of girls who are like have female nature, they just trust a man more if he has a post with some pet, holding a dog, right? Cute dog, that works really well. And the third picture of I would be doing a high status activity. This could be like in front of a big barbecue grill. This could be coming out of a nice car or on a boat, Think of something where a brokey wouldn't go, or a guy who has certain financial status would be able to afford. Think in like these terms, okay? Third picture. Fourth picture would be maybe you are out with some friends doing an activity. So you show, okay, we are conveying to a person, girl, this person is socially stable. People are okay to hang out with him. You can even post a picture with your cousins or female cousin or female friends who like hopefully look attractive. And fifth picture would be if you are in good physique. If you are not well built, I would go heavy on investing in your clothing, your fashion. Sure, girls do care about if you are like overweight. I think I would be spending 2 3 months on losing the weight, getting your body fat around 15 or lower, much better. But if you are like 35% body fat, it's not going to end well for you. I would just invest into losing weight and getting down to single digit body fat, right? So let's say if you are not like, built like Max, like a tank, right? Think of like the girls that you want to attract. On my dating app profile, I lean heavy towards more the fashion side. I'm not the leanest, right? I'm like 14% body fat, right? I don't have abs, but I still have like jawline, I look sharp and everything. So it works well for me.
You can't neglect the appearance part. So I know that there are a lot of coaches out there and online dating experts who say, no matter how you look, we will get you some girls through online dating, but that's all bullshit. So let's be honest. Women have a certain type, and especially on online dating, you're competing simultaneously with thousands and thousands of other men. So you have to show yourself from your best side. So optimize your fashion and optimize your body, and of course optimize your lifestyle, because on online dating platforms, it's all about how you look. 99% of all the women, they just judge whether they would swipe left or right on you just based on your pictures. And if their pictures look appealing, then they might read your bio. But the bio is, from at least what I heard from other girls, never the argument why they would swipe right or left. It's always about the pictures. All the pictures that you upload on your Tinder, they should be equally good. So if you have like 5 pictures which are very, very good, and the sixth pictures you're not really sure, that picture could in the end be the reason why a woman is swiping left on you. So you should be really convinced of all the pictures that you're uploading on the online dating apps.
Yes, because women are judging, finding ways to reject you.
Yeah, that's a brick one.
And men are like, hey, I want to find one single photo where she looks hot.
Yeah.
Then I'm okay. So and from this angle, she looks hot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe that's her best angle. Cool.
Yeah.
And women are like, okay, I want to find a way to reject him. Okay, not my type. He looks weird.
Yeah.
He dresses like a geek, a nerd, right? So that's not what I want. I would invest into backgrounds which are nicer, that makes you look like a certain way. I know like some guys like they just go to the airport and like invest into getting pictures taken from coming out of a private jet. Even like guys who are working 9 to 5, right? So you can find out ways, go to the local airport and then talk to people and like, maybe pay something. Like it should not cost you anything, coming out of a empty, like grounded airplane, but that looks like a baller photo, holding a Louis Vuitton bag, looking sharp. So dressing, environment, your physique is going to help you a lot as a guy who's in his 30s. So
Yeah.
women are going to think, okay, this guy is successful. He can take care of me. He can provide for me, which
Yeah.
is the sharp contrast compared to the guys who are in their early 20s. So this is, I think, this is how you can kill the competition. And then, of course, if you have budget, I would maybe like every few days, I would invest into boosting, right? Because you have to think it is pay to play, but it saves you a lot of time. Is nowadays a lot of this done for you texting or handling your dating profiles coming in handy. Like I think it costs like 400, 500 euros a month or dollars a month. And you can definitely outsource that. You just tell them your availability. I can go on 2 dates a week, right? I don't have time for more, or 3 dates a week. They will plan everything and then you just have to show up. That is also something I would do if you're like, okay, I don't want to figure this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I just want to go on a date and I want to have this shit handled so I can focus on other things. So
Yeah.
if you have the budget, 300-400 bucks, I would absolutely spend money on that. So outsource this to a VA living in a third world country. He's just using his skills or giving your time, because this is very time taking. Texting girls,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
let's like I think 10 girls you match up with, 8 of them are not going to reply. Like they just never reply because like their inbox is like flooded, right? Even with a killer ass profile, they just don't reply. So
Yeah.
you have to play the volume game. And a good way I found is like to just outsource.
And another very important thing is to know what your target audience on girls is on dating apps, because I noticed, and I've tried a lot of different things in the past few years, where I upload some certain pictures, maybe 2 pictures of me being looking like a bad boy, leather jacket, all black. And then I tended to get right swipes on girls who are on the same side as well, who look like a little bit bitchy, who wear all black as well, leather jacket and all that stuff. I didn't know how to game those girls through online dating. I was much better at gaming girls through online dating, which were more on the sporty, nerdy, casual side of things. And if you're, for example, a guy who was always into sports, for example, then show that off, of course. Now, show off that you're going to the gym, show off that you're more a bit on the casual side of things, and then you will swipe right more on these girls because there are a lot of gym bunnies on Tinder as well, right? Or maybe you're a father of two kids, especially when you were married for 10 years, for example. Maybe you have two kids. You can show them off, of course, make their faces unrecognizable. At least that's what I would do. But if you do that, you will get more, probably more swipes from girls who are more looking for something grounded, a stable relationship, who are more the girl that you would call your wife instead of some girl that you just pump and dump, if you get me.
Yeah, so there are like three categories of girls, right, on dating apps. So the first one is sleeper. Like these are girls, like they are like, okay, well, I could bust a nut.
Yeah.
That's what they're good for. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I just report,
It is what it is.
right? Well, I am horny. I want to, get rid of it, right? I want to break my dry spell. So these are called so-called sleepers. This will be a good amount of matches you get, right? So you don't want to take them on a date. You don't want to be seen with them. Or you're like, well, the pole goes in the hole, that kind of thing. Okay. Second type is like sleepers. Like sweeper is like, you are like, okay, if you close them, cool. If not, no worries, right? Second is like, you want to sleep with them, you want to date with them, but like you don't want to like show them to your friends, right? So these are second tier of girl. Like these could be girls who are like sevens or 6.5 or 7.5s. And the least one, I think on dating apps, just like the lowest number is like the keeper, girls who are very attractive.
No.
That you're like, hey, I'm going to show this off to my friends, like, hey, I met this girl on dating apps. That is not a very, very big number, right? Because a lot of those girls, they don't need dating apps or they have like so much abundance. They're like inflated with like a lot of validation. So if you want to find very high quality girls, right? And then you're not satisfied with dating apps, right? This should get you a rotation of few girls if you follow our content, if you have a good profile and you know how to flirt. If you don't know how to flirt, well, that's a problem for another day. Right now, we're just fixing on lead generation. But if you're not satisfied, hey, dating apps are not sufficient. I want wife kind of guy, right? Then we jump into social circles, making female friends, right? So if you go in the description, you will find links for our how to build a social circle in a new city or when you are, divorced. There's a link for that, and also how to build how to make female friends that gets you pre-selection and attraction, how to date friends of your girlfriends, right? So let's say you are friends with like a couple of girls and they have their own circles. So if you do things with them, they should be playing Cupid. If you are a cool guy, if you make them laugh, very likely, this is how you meet very high quality women. It's just a more slower way, right? That's the pros of it, but like quality is extremely, extremely high.
And social circle, especially paired with Instagram, that's the one that gets you mostly the keepers because, like you said, the keepers, that's the one tier which is the least represented on online dating platforms. I mean, there are platforms like Hinge, for example, where there tend to be more keepers, but in the end, those girls who are really hot, really beautiful, they are always kind of surrounded by guys and they don't have this huge need to go on online dating because they already get the attention from other guys. And these are the kind of girls that you have to meet through social circle. And this is where Instagram comes in handy. So if you fix your Instagram and you do all the necessary steps, then you're good to go to build up your fresh new social circle with exactly those type of girls.
Another important point, right? So this is for the guys like who would say like 20% attractive, right? So who are, let's say, tall enough. If you are in Europe, I think if you are anything above 175, like these dating apps can work for you, right? Because you would be at least equal or a bit taller than a lot of women out here. But if you are like in your 160 centimeters or like if you are below 5'7", it can be a big challenge, especially in Europe, right? So if your face doesn't look like a Chad, right? If you are not very tall, then you need to go even heavy on social circles, showing more status. Like you have to compensate. So
Yeah.
I was thinking it's like shallow, but like, why do girls care about their height?
Yeah.
But you have to also like empathize, right? Why do men care about their beauty, right? Why do we treat a nine different than a four?
Yeah.
Like we don't even care if a four, does something, right? So it's the same thing. The way beauty is to men is the way, women see height. It's like all genetics. Just like a four, she has to be more funnier to grab your attention.
Yeah.
She has to do something
Yeah. Yeah.
extraordinary. She has to cook for you. She needs to dress well for you to so that you take her notice. As women, they are not like the most attractive in their 35 compared to when they're 25. But as men, you have much like your season to prime is like much longer. Like you can also be very attractive in your 40s. If I'm like 165, right, 1 meter 65, what I would do is I would go heavy on status. I would see that I've procured some resources, do more pre-selection. That's what I would focus on if I am on the lower end, because yeah, I'm not genetically gifted, so I have to cover that up in another way.
And I've seen it a lot with other guys who are shorter and then they have to do something to compensate it. Either they're going to the gym heavily and they're focusing more on the gym bunnies and show off their great physique, or they just focus on status. They get great looking pictures, develop a great social circle with other high status and valuable men. And once you're there, once you're surrounded by those kind of people, and of course surrounded by other beautiful girls, other girls will notice at you. So there are multiple of examples we experienced as well the past 2 years where we met some guy where he was way older, where he was way too short, but still girls enjoyed his presence, right? And humor is, for example, a big thing as well. So especially as a guy, when you're extraordinary funny and you know how to make a woman feel comfortable around you, that's a big plus point, and not every guy knows how to do that.
So you have to always like as an advantage. For example, there are like leaders like Putin. I know like he's like very short, like he's like 5'7" or 5'8", which is I think in meters like 172 or something. Even like Max Tornov, he used to be a big RSC dating coach. He's also like 168. He's like below 170. He's like 5'6". So there are men who have done it. Instead, you have to be able to, as Max said, your social skills, the way you command attention needs to be unique, right? So because there are still girls who are in their 160s, right? So it's a challenge, of course, but you have to use all the cards in your favor, right? Which can give you the maximum chance, because it's going to be hard, right? As a guy who's on the shorter end, to be able to navigate this online world, especially, or if you are unattractive, do everything, lose your body fat. Like you cannot be short, fat, broke, and bald. Like you cannot be all those things, right? That's like the worst, right? So you need to be able to have something. If you don't have one thing, like you need to be able to compensate in the other ones.
So let's say you fixed your Instagram, you fixed your physique, yeah, you lost some body fat, maybe you grew some muscles, you got some nice clothes, and you did some even more better pictures. And how you can do that, this is something we're already discussing in all the other podcast episodes. So, but basically, you just should aim to show access to scarce resources on your Instagram or places of high status. But if you want some inspirations for that, go either to Answer's Instagram or my Instagram, and you will see tons and tons of examples. And you can do that very, very easily in every city that you live in. And once you have that ready, then we can go ahead and build up your fresh new social circle.
So access to scarce resources mean like you as a man having access to things which are like not every man has, like only top men have, right? This could be hanging around people who are famous, who are valuable, who are well respected. People know about them, right? Celebrities, people know them, and then they are like their time is valuable, right? So that's like in terms of people. Also like attractive women, right? Me and Max, we go heavy on pre-selection, posting pictures with famous models, influencers. Second one is like you being on a private yacht. Third thing would be you having access to better cars, you being on holidays, or you're just doing activities which requires some finances, some capital. And then let's say once your Instagram is fixed, like you are using dating apps to generate leads or you're outsourcing it to someone else, you do videos about texting. Texting is a very big topic, which we will cover in another topic. How that works, like what you need to take care of, what are the different phases. I also learned texting recently. Okay, this does not matter, but texting make a night and day difference, right? If you are getting matches but not ending up on dates, that means your problem or your bottleneck is your texting. So then it will be fixed, right? So these are all different phases. Let's say you are converting them to your Instagram, you are going on dates. Then you need to know how to use Instagram as a funnel to be able to meet girls like consistently, right? Either you every week you are transferring like 2 or 3 girls on your Instagram. Should be able to plan your calendar that you socialize at least once a week. For example, me and Max, we go to clubs or go eat brunch and then post stories with people. When you go to the gym, post picture of a nice gym. You see people watching your stories, maybe they react to it, and then you can reply to their stories and then plan things from there again. So you see, like every passing week, you're adding more and more people from dating apps, maybe from Instagram itself, or also in person. Like you meet girls in gym, in your yoga classes, whatever. But okay, if you're going to yoga classes, nice. So everyone goes to your Instagram and then you can plan things together or, go on dates.
All right. And once you funnel the girls, for example, from your dating apps to Instagram, then you can proceed there nurturing them even more. So, because it's just one thing for a girl to look on your dating apps because you have only some limited options for you to show attraction to a girl on Tinder. I mean, I believe you can only have like 9 pictures on Tinder. On Hinges, it's like 6 pictures, and that's pretty much it. But maybe there's more to see to your personality, and that's why you can use Instagram very, very good and leverage it way better than the dating apps to show the girl more from your lifestyle. So, for example, if you go to the gym regularly, you hang out with your social circle regularly, you should show off that in your stories on Instagram, create those highlight reels. And it happened to me very, very often that at some point, girls will start to reach out to me because they see my highlight stories, because they watch my stories all the time, and it becomes for them easy to reach out to me, or just for me way easier to approach them, because I noticed there are more and more girls coming into my stories which I don't follow, which I haven't messaged in the past. Once I notice that and once I message them, it's almost an instant yes for them to come, for example, either to a brunch from ours or to the club with us or to some other social gatherings.
The dating market dynamics completely different. You can still do call approach, go to the bar, but that's like very time inefficient. It's something which is like it cannot be standalone way to meet a girl like very fast. It can still work. I mean, you can be a caveman, like do that. 100% works. If you want like consistent volume of dates, right? Dating apps are the fastest way to go on dates with like a lot of volume. It works because the positive thing is like the girl is single and she is interested in like meeting you. But on bars, she might not be. She might be single because she broke up with someone, or she might be already dating someone, right? So that's the thing with like cold approach or even like talking to girls in nightclubs and bars. It's something to cover. Of course, there's a debate which one is better. Well, I'm just talking in terms of volume. I don't know anyone like who's meeting going on 7 days a week using cold approach. That is, I haven't seen that personally. You have to be fucking balling out of control like 4 hours per day every day of the week, bro.
Well, I had that at my glory days of cold approach. I had sometimes a week. I can remember there was like one week, once or twice, where I had 7 to 8 dates in a row. So from Monday until Sunday, every day a date. But you have to do a lot for that. You have to go out tons and tons and tons for that.
Can this work in winter?
I mean, it can work in winter if you put in a lot of time in it. What's the benefit of that? I mean, if you're in your 30s or in your 40s, you have way better things to care about than just going out for hours and hours every day to approach girls, because at some point, cold approach can get weird as well.
If you are height is okay, you have like clean teeth, like your face is not fucked up. Dating apps, nice pictures, the 5 pictures I talked about before, post them, fix Instagram. If not, improve other things, fashion, your status and everything, right? And then roll the dice and then good luck out there, right? This is how it works. And then if you want higher quality, watch the videos below, click on the link, and then watch the other videos to learn how we build circles and meet women consistently, high quality from there.
All right, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you found it very, very valuable. Leave some comments down below. So, if you're in your 30s or 40s, so just feel free to tell us the story. Let's help you out on that. Comment on this video below. And if you want direct help from us, just go to the link in the description, book a call either with me or Ans, and then we will see exactly at your situation where you are right now and where you want to go and develop a customized plan for you to do so, to develop a social circle no matter the city you live. And from there on, you can date the most beautiful girls.